China has been for thousands of years a wonderful and independent nation. But Japan wants to conquer China in the quest to take over the world. The Second Sino-Japanese War was undoubtedly a history-changing conflict. China's history is certainly astonishing. Their history is 4,000 years old. That is quite a long time. Just to reference, about 500 years ago, Columbus discovered America. Basically, their civilization started 1,000 years after the invention of the wheel. The Chinese people have been the creators of several tools which have global impact and helped the development of humankind. For example, they created powder, which will be an important element for weaponry. The warlords are an important part of the Chinese territorial division. These warlords are concentrated in the southeast of the country. Meanwhile, the northeast is still occupied by Japanese army. Japan is using Pyongyang as anything else than a puppet state, while Manchukuo is almost invaded. Chinese culture is extremely rich since it covers a considerable amount of territory, which was strengthened since the beginning of the nationalist movements in China that started in the late 19th century. Talking about China division, the east part of the country bases their economy and industries, while the west part is divided into small villages with different prime activities as the agriculture that guarantees their survival. In the middle of an industrial race, Japan's desire to take China's huge territory grows. Japan's intelligence and organization allowed them to quickly reach the economical, industrial, and military level of the world's powerhouses. Japanese mentality to fight until death creates this massacre. Japan attacked civilians in Shanghai South Railway Station. They demonstrate anger against Chinese people. With an organized army and a lot of ambitions, they want to occupy Manchuria because of its resources, then take over whole China and use its manpower. They want to control Asia, so they thought that the best way to do it was by invading, just like Nazi Germany when Europe is starting for Russia. Japan needed an excuse to invade China, so they took the Marco Polo's Bridge incident as an excuse. They launched an invasion to China, starting the Second Sino-Japanese War. In fact, Japan had refused to last the Olympic Games because of the Second Sino-Japanese War. So the committee decided Helsinki to be the new host. The Japanese were covering their grades because they didn't expect USA's help. They were obsessed with Asian control. They wanted to be like us, the powerhouse of the continent. We were the role model. Instead of making their country a better place with cooperation and democracy, instead Japan used imperialism and war. Militarization of China and response to the Japanese army. China's land full of people, and all of them are owners of a great heart. They will show conviction. The people is being trained to kill and defend their land. Even kids are being instructed on how to hear their wounded. By 1939, a new war had started in the West. France and the United Kingdom had declared war to the powerful Nazi Germany. Meanwhile, Japan continued conquering the lands that belonged to the Chinese people in several islands in the Pacific, violating several international conventions. The powerful Japanese army kept advancing. China is almost lost in the endless conflict. Japan has advanced rapidly and now conquers all Southeast Asia. The United States hasn't entered the war, but in a foolish act, the Japanese reached American soil, which was a detonating event for America to join the fight for freedom along with our Chinese brothers. Before the Americans joined the war, the soldiers thought everything was lost. Japan had moved faster than they expected, and when them arrived, the energies came back. The motivation kept them fighting for their nation. They will always be thankful for the Americans and their help in taking back the land that belonged to the Chinese. Since 1941, until the end of the war, America fought bravely. After fighting for several years, finally the outstanding U.S. Marine defeated Japan in a crucial naval battle, which allowed the American forces to have an almost absolute control over Japan. But Japan refused to surrender. They didn't want to feel dishonored. They had the never give up spirit, just like the American army, but maybe even greater. The United States of America had no other choice but to use the newest nuclear technology developed by Einstein and his colleagues in Hiroshima and Nagasaki to conserve peace. The Emperor once and for all signed the surrender of Japan on August 14, 1945, definitely ending both the Second World War and the Second Sino-Japanese War. A new future lies ahead. With the help of America, peace is back in the Chinese population's life. The territories that Japan stole have been returned. American soldiers are coming back to their homes proud because they have fought for the best cause possible: freedom.